Thank you very much. I now give the floor to the representative of the Institute for Reporters' Freedom and Safety.
Thank you, Mr. President. International cooperation in the field of anti-corruption is of extreme importance in punishing corruption crimes, which in most cases are carried out on an international scale. Money stolen from kleptocratic and democratic countries is often withdrawn using the financial system of the Western democratic countries and settled there, depriving peoples and continents of equal opportunities for sustainable development. During the conference, both in the plenary session and the side events, we hear many positive examples of international effort to combat corruption. However, an analysis of international scale of corruption over the past 2 years shows that the volume of corruption flows in the world has not decreased, but rather increased. This negative trend suggests that we as a government, international organizations or non-governmental institutions, independent media and other democratic institutions cannot cope with the corruption regardless of the existing international cooperation. We consider it necessary to more closely involve non-governmental institutions and the private sector in the work of the state and interstate anti-corruption institutions. It is necessary to increase funding and direct more political will to eradicate corruption and make these efforts synchronous in all jurisdictions where corruption, crimes and money laundering took place. We welcome the investigation by the fiscal authorities of the United States, Denmark, Estonia, and European Union into one of the most high-profile cases of corruption related to the laundering of money from Russia, Ukraine, and Azerbaijan. While Danske Bank fully admitted guilt and paid one of the largest fines, the total amount of which has exceeded $2 billion in the United States, and settled claims in the Western jurisdictions, unfortunately, the law enforcement agencies of Azerbaijan have not yet launched a criminal investigation into the funds illegally withdrawn from Azerbaijan for the total amount of about $3 billion. The Azerbaijani authorities argue that it is impossible to investigate this case due to lack of appropriate legislation to combat money laundering. We ask member states to assist Azerbaijan in carrying out anti-money laundering reforms as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, I also especially want to emphasize that my colleague participating in the investigation of Danske Bank corruption case, the scientist economist, the famous anti-corruption expert Gubadi Badoglu, as well my colleague, famous anti-corruption investigative journalist Hafiz Babali, were recently arrested in Azerbaijan, with paradox that the authorities arrested well-known anti-corruption activists using recommendations from such respected international institutions as FATF, Moneyball, and Greco. I want to point out that over the past months, 5 anti-corruption experts were unjustly arrested in Azerbaijan. Taking these opportunities, I would like to invite countries that have not been able to overcome corruption to stop persecuting investigative journalists and anti-corruption activists. They should release representatives of the anti-corruption community and, on the contrary, an atmosphere of mutual trust confront together the challenges they face. I thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. I now give the floor to the representative